What's up, everybody? Yes, I'm back, man. You guys already know what time it is. I don't talk about it, I stay about it. But anyways, people, today we're going to talk about me being put on disregard. It is what it is, huh? The YouTube Yarda is ruthless. But I have a little something to say about that, and I'm going to speculate a little bit why they put me on the shine. For those of you guys that don't understand, the disregard is pretty much being ignored. You know what I'm saying? But first and foremost, people, I must remind you guys, this is a fitness channel with a twist. And you guys already know what the twist is today. Disregard from the YouTube Yarda. But anyways, people, yeah, fitness channel with the twist. If you want to get started in your fitness journey, you could hit me up on my website, highpowerfitness.net. Keep in mind, people, when you reach out to me, we're going to have to hop on that phone call. We're going to go over your fitness goals. We'll come up with something that works for you, for your lifestyle, something that we can incorporate into your current lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because I'm not expecting you to make these drastic changes in your lifestyle because it just become uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to sacrifice things, obviously, because if you want the results that you're chasing after, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. You got to give up to get better, in things in life. With anything that goes on in life, man, you got to give up. You got to shake those vices. I know as much as you guys don't want to give up that pleasurable life, trust and believe, once you start living life with purpose, it's a lot more pleasurable. I tell you that right now. I'm living example. I've said on my past shorts, I never in my life saw myself traveling outside of my neighborhood, let alone to all the states that I've been going to and all the upcoming events that I have aligned. Just keep a watch on my story, people. You guys are gonna trip. I got some upcoming events that I'm tapping in with certain individuals, and I'm just out of respect, I'm not gonna put their names out here on social media. If they choose to, that's on them. You know what I mean? That's just the way I get down, and that's the way I was brought up, where I grew up at. It's always good to get permission from an individual. You know what I'm saying? To utilize their name out here. And I mean, that's the correct way to go about things. You can't just I understand this is social media and people, they get down the way they get down, but I'm just sharing with you my morals and beliefs. Not everybody's gonna be the same, but it is what it is. Well, anyways, people, like I said, man, I'm a full-time online fitness coach. I ramble on a whole lot. Remember, let's get this channel to 10,000 subscribers. Once we reach that 10,000 mark, ooh-wee, you guys already know what time it is, man. The YouTube Yarda will become activo, baby. Hey, and it's going to be an open forum, you know what I mean? Pull up, chop it up, speak your mind, get whatever you have to get off of your chest, and we will address it, you know what I mean? And like I said, there's not going to be no topic off limit it doesn't violate my morals and beliefs, So we're going to keep it safe and keep it cordial, and we will address everything to the best we can, So anyways, people, I rambled on a lot. If you want to get started in your fitness journey, hit me up, highpowerfitness.net, or you could DM me and shoot me a DM, mention something about fitness. I'll open up the chat line with you. We'll communicate. We'll hop on the horn. I'll build you that perfect workout plan. Every workout that I build for you is going to come with videos. I'll be able to keep track of this stuff on my personalized training app. That way I know that you're doing everything correctly, and that way I hold you accountable, because accountability is a must, because anybody could do this, talk a good talk, but can they walk the walk? There's a lot of cats here on social media that talk a really good talk. Hey, man, I give it to them. I tip my hat to them. They got the gift of gab, baby. You know what I mean? It is what it is, Hey, shoo, do your thing, chicken wing. But anyways, hey, just bear with me, man. This is the way this cat. Hey, what you see right here behind the screen is what you get in real life. When you meet me, anybody could co-sign that. I have this same energy. I don't care who it is I'm chopping it up with, what the individual believes he is, that I'm chopping it up with, I give off this same energy. This is me, man. I'm cool, man. I'm cool with my life. I'm comfortable with my life. I'm comfortable with the bed that I made with myself. So, that's why I carry myself the way I do, because I know where I came from. I came from, being, messed up on drugs, being homeless, dragging my family through the streets, being homeless with me when they didn't have to, My wife could have went with her parents and stood there, but, she wanted to be with me, and that's why I say, man, I owe this to my wife and my kids, and that's what I do day in, day out. I'm being my best version of myself. I don't miss. Even when I'm traveling, I still put up, do my thing. And the reason why I like to do that as well, too, just to show the audience out there that, it's manageable, people. You know what I mean? Come on, I'm up there in age and I'm able to do it, so there's no excuse for anybody that is younger than me not to do it. And even the older cats, you could do it too, do it at your pace. You don't have to be extreme with anything. It's all about consistency. When you have a consistent, program that you're running on a daily, and you know how to incorporate a healthy life, such as your nutrition, all you get is results. You stay healthy. And that's what's important on my program as well, people. It's not about the weight that you lose. It's how much life you gain out of my program. I am a firm believer that you have to get healthy before you lose weight, not lose weight, then get healthy. So with my program, when you sign up with me, we start working on your overall health, okay? Once your body gets tuned in and dialed in, that will automatically fall in place. The dropping the weight, the building the muscle. It comes naturally. It's a no-brainer, people. I know there's a science behind the nutritional part, and that's where I come in as your coach. I guide you and I teach you about this, and I teach you the simple rules, the rules of the rules of thumb. You know what I mean? To, like, say if you're out there eating with your family, and you don't want to feel like you're being an outcast or anything like that, you could still eat out there and be healthy and stay dialed in. And I teach you the tricks of the trade on how to do that. You don't have to carry a scale with you, even though I was one of those persons that carried a scale. I used to weigh out my food, everything. And, I would get people like, reckless eyeball me and stuff, like wondering what I'm doing. But then I took a look at myself and I said, that's why I look the way I look, and that's the way you look the way you look. You know what I mean? Because I was stayed dialed in. I didn't care what the next man or next person thought. It is what it is, baby. You know what I mean? I had a purpose, and I still have a purpose, and that purpose right here today is to help change people's lives. And that's what I do on my program, guaranteed, man. So for those of you that had reached out to me and you say you got to think about it, what's there to think about? Don't you want to live healthier today? That way you could be around longer for your family for the days to come. It's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? You think long, you think wrong, baby. Hey, I've did that in the past, and it got me nowhere. Now I take action. You know what I mean? I don't make excuses. I create solutions. And that's the way I get down on my program. Okay? There's no excuses. It's all about making solutions. So anyways, people, today's video is going to be about me being put on disregard, people. So I'm going to keep it as clean as I can, because it's obvious that there's a lot of people out here that are very sensitive. And what I mean by sensitive, I mean that in a civilian status, because we all know there's different sensitive needs, people, and those are the ones that pertain behind the walls. So we'll leave that separated from the people that I'm going to address. But then there is them people that claim to be them fucking Mashika warriors and fucking trollos. They got to get their last 2 cents in. And these people, I'm going to tell you something real quick. They're real quick to judge a person. They're the type of person that you take to the movies and they think they got the whole fucking movie figured out because the producer of the movie pitched you a storyline where you thought that you had it figured out. You know what I mean? You got to sit there and watch the whole motherfucking movie before you post judgment on something. That's to you motherfucking poo butts, you lame brains, and you funny bunnies out there. You know, I mean, I only look this way, people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to bash anybody, but I will express my opinion on things. You know, and I share with you guys the reason why there's certain individuals that I can't align myself with, because it would put me in immediate danger. It would put a label on me as well, and I'm not going to do that. I just not going to do that. In the individuals that certain individuals that I had spoke on, they should understand where I'm coming from. You know what I mean? If an individual lived the life that I've lived, or even at a higher status, they know. But what's a trip is the audience, okay? And that's to bring me to my disregard. Trip out on this, man. I noticed I had an audience, and I appreciate every last one of you guys. Let's not get it twisted here. I appreciate every last one of you guys, even the motherfucking cholos and the funny bunnies out here. You know what I mean? Because you're showing interaction on my channel. You know what I mean? I'm getting in your ear, and this cat right here is in your thoughts. So it's all good. You know what I'm saying? But certain individuals, I noticed they went ghost on me, and they basically put me on disregard. They shined me on. You know what I mean? Because they must have had their feelings hurt because how I had just spoken on a topic that was going out here. It was spreading like an epidemic. You know what I mean? But like I've said in the past, I'm a person that will address it once and that's it. Ya estuvo. You know what I mean? I'm not here to fucking pose any ill will on anybody. That's not my get down. You know, what I do in life is what I do in life. I don't have time to worry about what's going on in other people's lives, you know, other than my family and my team members and the ones that surround me. Okay? If I were to get involved with shit that goes on here on social media, that shit would fucking drive me fucking bonkers. Okay? It would fucking drive me crazy. There's just so much shit, and it's a never-ending war. Okay? Yes, I rambled on a lot. Man, what the fuck is that name? That individual's name? Motherfucking Gibby, my boy. Save it. That guy's such he's a character. Let's just keep it as that, man. So anyways, yeah, I noticed a lot of the subscribers stopped interacting with my comments. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm not going to frown upon you because you did what you did. That's your choice. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, think about it. What I said and what I do is my choice. But next time, listen to the whole video and really listen out. If you don't understand something, the person that you feel that I'm down talking, ask them. Maybe they'll give you a better definition of why I have to do what I have to do. You know, I live that life. I still mingle amongst my homeboys, and I love all my homeboys. I represent my hood. You know, I can't bring any shades of gray to my barrio. It's a very well-respected neighborhood, so I'm not going to do that, you know. So I know the rules, I know the reglas, you know, and I'm going to follow them. I was never once to go against the grain. And like I've said in the past, you know what I mean? I ain't for people buying their way back in. And for those of you that don't understand, you civilians out there, people that had bad charges on you, or you went to protective custody because you felt that your immediate life was in danger, so you decide to lock it up, perhaps because you fell in debt with some type of extracurricular activity, and now you're able to come up with the money and pay that debt and pay a little extra on that, and then it's okay to come back. I will never co-sign that stuff, because what is right and what is wrong, you know what I mean? Because there's certain individuals, you know, I'm sure if they want, they wish that they could come back, but they're not going to. Why? Because they're not supported financially, you know. They don't have the financial means to buy their way back. So that's like double standards, man. So I'm old school, you know what I mean? I'm old school, and I'm going to live by my old school rules, you know, and my old school beliefs. So for those of you that like put me on disregard, I'm gonna put you up on a little game. This individual right here, I was raised in solitude just about, okay? I came in this motherfucking world alone, and I'm gonna leave alone. I don't expect expect anybody to be around to comfort me when in need. I ain't looking for fucking pity parties. I know what I get myself into, and I know how to get out of it. And just as a reminder, real quick, because I know some of you guys actually they ask, well, what does disregard mean, OG? Well, that's a form of punishment that we had utilized behind them walls. I wasn't for that shit. That shit's like fucking. To me, it's like it's a way of discipline, low key, to make an individual realize and let him think about what he did wrong. I guess it's low key a form of torture. You know what I mean? But if someone were to try to do something like that to me, fuck, I wouldn't give a fuck. I'm cool with that. I'm cool with solitude. You know what I mean? I'll talk to my motherfucking self if I have to. You feel me? As long as I don't start answering myself, I'm cool. You know what I mean? But I'll create a conversation by myself. I wouldn't give a fuck. That's just the way this guy is right here. You know what I'm saying? It's like, these individuals, they use that form of, disregard. They put the shine on you. I guess they feel it's going to bring some type of hurt. It may pose a threat to certain individuals, but to this individuals, I laugh about it. And the reason why I say I find it humorous is because, I was almost quick to judge a couple individuals too. And because I automatically assumed these individuals, didn't really view the content that I put down. So they went by judgment from others. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm here doing my thing. If you guys ask me questions, I'm going to tell it like it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I am old school. I do believe, and I will always follow the ways that I was brought up. There's a lot of shit that goes on this day of age that I do not agree with, but I'm not going to go against the grain. But does that mean I have to participate? Absolutely not. Because at the end of the day, I am my own man. I make my bed, and I feel very comfortable in laying in it every night. I can't speak for everybody else. Only they know what their comfort level is when they make their bed. And trust and believe, there's certain individuals out here, they from my observance from the audience, they seem to be doing okay because if you think about it, if somebody was really a hot commodity, ain't no different behind them walls and out here. Anybody can be touched. If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. I'm not going to get into detail on that because it's really it doesn't make any sense to get into detail about that. If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, people, like I said, man, low-key individuals put me on disregard. Boo-hoo, you got your feelings hurt. You know what I mean? Hey, put on your big girl panties, your big boy shorts, your manly pants, and mount up. You know what I mean? This is social media. This is a place of entertainment. If you don't like what I speak on, hey, put me on mute. You know what I mean? I still won't have hatred toward you guys because I got love for everybody. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their opinion and their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? So all I ask is just for the respect in return. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it real. There's individuals that I'll watch certain things, but then there's a lot of shit that they put out there I will not watch because I won't fucking entertain it. I'm not about that. You know what I mean? One thing I do support is anybody that's out here pushing a good cause for the betterment of our people, not just raza, anybody that's going through the struggle, us minorities, and just people that could relate to the struggles that we went through, to help them change their ways of thinking, their path of destruction. I'm all for that. That's what I do. I'm a full-time online fitness coach. I help people day in, day out. You see, I had a testimonial from two of my team members from Yuma, Arizona. The son hired me to help his father with his nutrition because he was struggling with medical conditions. And he went from type 2 diabetes, he went all the way down to pre-diabetic. He reversed it. His high blood pressure pills are gone. He's doing a great job, and it all stems through the nutrition that I put together for him. There was a testimonial. So the son decided to sign on. Someone asked, hey, do they work out? Yeah. Well, the pops doesn't. The son, it just started. He's been on my program for a month and some change, and I already dropped 20 pounds. This is something that doesn't happen overnight. It's something that you got to commit to and be dedicated to, people on my program. You know what I mean? It's not hard. It's not a puzzle. It's not hard to figure out. Just keep it simple. Simple scales and fancy fails, baby. You know what I mean? And like I said, on my program, it's guaranteed to work. You just got to be that student to come inside my classroom, sit down, listen, learn, and apply what I provide to you to your daily life. And it's guaranteed. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, baby. Come on now. What more do you want here? Well, anyways, people, with that being said, disregard, man. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Boo-hoo. Hey. If you guys want to get started on your fitness journey, hit me up, highpowerfitness.net, or shoot me a DM, highpowerfitness, high_power_fitness_. As a matter of fact, go check out my Instagram. I've been doing Instagram for a cool minute now, over a couple years. And yeah, I have testimonials from team members, non-team members. I have some nutritional meals right there that you could start off with just to kickstart your fitness journey. And then once you see that they work, hey, hit me up. We could extend that fitness journey of yours and take it to the next limit, because there is levels to this, people. Now, with that being said, get up and get yours.